Welcome to the very first episode of Reentry Protocol, dating advice for middle-aged guys. If you're in your 30s and up and you are looking to improve your dating life, maybe you are recently divorced or separated, whatever your story is, if you're looking to get back in the dating game, you probably found that things are pretty confusing and a lot different than they used to be 20 years ago, or even 5 years ago for that matter. The apps have certainly changed the dating landscape, but there's more to it than that. I think that society has changed drastically. People have changed and the expectations of men have changed for sure. So, this podcast is to help you guys navigate that. So, who am I and why should you listen to me? I'm just a regular average guy who happened to figure out this one little thing, this one little area of my life, through a lot of trial and error and a lot of wasted time and money and a lot of effort. I figured out a lot of things that work and a lot of things that don't. And I have, through helping some other guys with their dating profiles and things like that, I see a lot of mistakes, easy mistakes to fix, simple mistakes that are really costing guys a lot of opportunity in the dating world. And so, that is the purpose of this podcast is to, help guys figure out, tweak the little things that they can do. And we'll get into much deeper things as well. We're going to talk about the apps. We're going to talk about profiles. We're going to get into how to approach women in the wild, as I call it, cold approaching. And by the way, if it's a skill you'd like to have to know that you can walk into a bar or brewery or restaurant or grocery store and walk up and talk to a woman without having any fear or trepidation about it, then stick around because that's something we're going to get to. Um, Also, we're going to talk a lot about mindset and limiting beliefs because I think that that has a lot to do with what holds guys back. And in order to formulate some of the philosophies or the frame of mind that you'll need to be successful in dating, confidence is a big thing. It's huge. It's probably the biggest thing. We'll have to talk about some of the mindset issues that we have and the opinions that we hold about ourselves and what we're capable of. To get into that, to be able to get to a place where you can build true confidence. And then once you build your confidence, you get better results, which in turn build your confidence even more. We're also going to talk about how to vet women and what red flags you need to be looking out for. Remember that this is not just you trying to get a date. This is you trying to find somebody you want to take on a date, right? Dating is a skill, just like a lot of other things. It's not based in luck. It's not dependent on how good looking you are or fit or wealthy or, that you're over 6 feet tall, whatever. The guys that have all of that, they're the ones that already have 80% of the women after them to start with. So again, this is aimed at regular average guys who know they have something to offer, but maybe just aren't getting the traction that you think you should be getting in the dating game. You're not getting the responses to the messages. You're not getting dates. You're getting friend zoned, all of these things. If that's a pattern for you, then there's certain things that you're doing that's creating those situations. So we're going to talk through all of that, how to correct all of that, how to build up your confidence, how to interact with women in ways that will make them want to interact with you, how to stand out from the other thousands of like mouth breathers that are in their DMs every day. So, um, competence creates confidence. And so the more confident you get at portraying yourself, the more confidence you'll have, which will continue to increase your results. This is not going to be for guys who are complainers or who are victims or who want to blame everything and everybody else for what's wrong in your life. You have to accept responsibility, whether it's your fault or not. And it's so wild to me. I meet so many people who are getting the results they want in dating, but they are convinced that they're doing everything right. And they're just angry that what they do isn't working, or it seems like they're angry that, no guy or no girl wants to go out with them. Instead of looking at what they might be doing wrong, they just want to be mad at the world. And, if that's your attitude, then fine, but you're not going to, nothing's really going to change. There's not anything anybody can do for you if you're not willing to look at what you're doing and what you need to change. Um, but the process should be, dating should be fun. If you're more frustrated with the dating process than you are anything else and you're not enjoying yourself, then maybe it's time to take a step back and, figure out what it is that you want, look at what you're doing, what could be improved, and that's what this podcast is for. The mission, of Reentry Protocol is to provide clarity and skills and understanding for middle-aged guys who are trying to reenter the dating world. Raising your standards for yourself and the women that you want to date. Increasing your options. That's a big thing. It's because if you know that you have options, once you get to the point where you know you can get dates, then you're going to be far less worried about each individual interaction. Your confidence and your willingness to put up with BS is directly proportional to what you think your options are. If you're dating a woman or talking to a woman and you don't think you have any other options, you're going to treat that situation differently than if you knew you had other options. And lastly, learn how to make this whole process enjoyable. Like I said, dating should be fun. And if it's not, then, the juice probably isn't worth the squeeze. Learn how to make it fun. And by the way, the more dates you get, the more responses you get to your messages. When you start having success, guess what? It gets to be a whole lot more fun. So I hope you'll stick around for the journey. We're going to look at what you're doing, what I'm doing wrong, and what we need to work on. So go ahead and subscribe. Go ahead and take ownership of your life and your dating situation. And, let's get to work.